Hello, I'm back again. My name's author Samuel J. White. I've already made this video and for some reason it just didn't save or post or anything, so I'm having to do this really quickly because I'm really short of time, so thank you for your patience. Now, I'm going to give a free giveaway here. This is for my book, Maria's Photograph. I don't have any actual physical copies of it at the moment. They're still on order, but when I do get them, I will give away one free signed copy to the person who makes the 100th comment on here. You can make as many comments as you like, but the one who gets number 100 will win the free copy of the book. If no one makes it, if it doesn't get to the 100, then it will be the last person to comment on Sunday night before midnight UK time. Now, what is Maria's Photograph about? I did do a whole scary video here with sound effects and everything like that, but it just isn't here for some reason. So Maria's Photograph is based on a story which I heard when I was a child about a photograph which was up in the primary school where I went in Heavingham in Norfolk. So the story went that the photograph was of a child called Maria who had died at some point. No one really knew much about her, but the legend is that she went to school there, or wanted to go to school there, and didn't in fact get to live very long, and her ghost, the photograph was part of her, was there in her memory, and her ghost haunted the school where she wanted to go. And I heard this from a few of the older students who were there. They were only about 11 or 12, but the main one who seemed to be in the know about it, he moved on a few years later, and I can't really ask him about it because he got killed in a car accident about 2 years after leaving school. So, but then the adults who were around at the time, they knew something but weren't saying. If I asked them, it'd be like, "Oh, you're too young to know about stuff like that." And but having spoken to some people, my mum who worked in the school, she didn't know about stuff personally, but she knew that other people knew, and that she tells me that the headmaster was hiding stuff and not wanting for the children to know about it, and that each morning when the caretaker came in, she'd find stuff like desks moved around, stuff put on the floor, chairs turned over and stuff like that. I mean, it could have been a prank, but I don't think she was the type of person to do that. She was quite stern. And so the rumour goes that when this happened, after this was all happening, and the headmaster threw out the photograph and it all stopped. But that's a boring story, so I decided to make my own story up about it, based in 1947, so that it's not about anyone who's currently alive. It's about a school teacher who comes to the area after losing her husband in the war. Now, being a young widow, of course, she's very sad and lonely and depressed, and the photograph is in her house, which belongs to the school, which she rents from the school, and it's there, and she's got no one else to speak to, so she speaks to this photograph as if it's a person, and she's going quite insane speaking to it. But then it comes back, and the little girl in the photograph haunts her in her dreams, and she's trying to tell her something. She's trying to show her about what life was like for her several years earlier, and she had quite a hard life with being a disabled child and wanting to go to school and not being allowed to, and it's all coming together. And there's another side story which is about a child whose father went off to war and came back not even knowing that he had a child, and his mother's dead, and they're all linked in somewhere with this child in the photograph, and it's twisting and turning, and we don't know what's going on until the end. I don't really want to sell it short because I don't really have much time to record this video. Hopefully I'll have had time to put in some pictures of the places and the time and the atmosphere. It was all taking part in the Great Winter of 1947, which may be not so great to people who are used to these cold winters in places like parts of America, but this winter, as you can hopefully see in the pictures, it was the worst thing that ever happened at the time, and I don't think we've had anything like that since, apart from about 2 days in 2018 when the snow at our house was piled up above the hedges. But people were dying in this. It was the greatest depression since the war, where people were starving because cattle were dying in this winter, and I thought, what a great backdrop to set against the ghost story. The loneliness and someone who just it's hard to describe, but I thought, what a great place to set it, especially as I know the area and everything. And I'm babbling on a bit here, but it's got some great reviews so far. There are people who have not reviewed it but have still spoken to me about it, but I have a couple of great reviews which I should be showing to you right now. So the idea is, if you are the 100th person to comment down here, then you get the free copy of the book wherever you are in the world. I'll sign it and send it to you. I can only do one because I'm not very poor, well, I'm not very rich, sorry, I'm really sorry myself. Thank you for taking the time to look at this video. I'm also working on a audiobook of this story. It's also available on ebook. I will put some links up, hopefully. If I get the chance, I'll be able to post some. I'm very pressed for time at the moment. Thank you for listening to the video, or watching the video, sorry. I hope you enjoy Maria's photograph, whether you are the winner or whether you download it yourself.